Okay, while there was much anticipation that we'd see a major ruckus and possibly even riots in Cleveland, you know what? Protests were relatively calm this week. The worst we saw was a little pushing and shoving. Just 23 people were arrested. Now, why do I say just? Compare that to the 1,800 arrested during the Republican National Convention back in 2004 in New York City. But it's New York. Let us spin it forward as Democrats head east to Philadelphia. Is the city of brotherly love ready? We've got the man presiding over the convention, Marcel Groen. He's chairman of Pennsylvania's Democratic Committee. Okay, we're hearing that anywhere from 35 to 50,000 protesters per day are expected. This could be sound and fury signifying nothing, but what are you prepared for? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think we're completely prepared. I'm not sure we're going to get those kind of protesters. We're certainly going to give them their ability to protest. We're going to give them room. We have specific places allocated where they can do it. We don't want them to interfere with the convention itself. And hopefully it'll be under control. You can't. Look, the truth is you can't always control it. You don't know what's coming, but I think we should be okay.
You know what Cleveland
Police... And we're
certainly
ready for it.
I think what Cleveland Police did very well, and we hear this from the Fox Business people, there are multiple checkpoints to the point where by the time the protesters got to where they were allowed to protest, they were totally exhausted. So they're like, okay, I'll try and burn the flag. Nothing really happened. Is that sort of the stake that the Philly police are going to plant in the ground, because they haven't asked for additional help from other units like the Cleveland PD did?
Well, first of all, we have a much bigger police force, obviously.
Yep.
And this is a police force that's used to big events. We had Pope Francis here earlier in the year. That was much larger, in fact, than what we're doing now. That ran very smoothly. They had checkpoints. They were able to pinpoint. They had people in the crowd. They had various kinds of police, some of which you could see and some of which you couldn't see.
Right.
They certainly had people on bikes. They had people on horses. So I think we're ready for it. Okay. The city is ready for a wonderful convention, and hopefully everybody will enjoy. This is the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope it stays that way. You know, your state traditionally goes blue, votes Democrat. It's a little purple right now. In fact, at the most recent poll from Quinnipiac, Donald Trump is edging out Hillary Clinton by just a couple of percentage points. But, what's the AccuWeather real feel on the ground there when you talk about how your constituents in that state feel about this election and about the candidates that stand before them?
Well, I think that if you look at an overall state, I think they're conflicted, largely geographically. The good thing for us is that I think that we are going to do very well in Philadelphia and the surrounding counties, the 4 suburban counties. Those 5 counties by themselves represent almost 40% of the population. There are areas which are traditionally more Democratic, like southwestern Pennsylvania, not including Allegheny County, where we have a lot of work to do. And northeast Pennsylvania as well, where we have work to do. Look, people are scared, a lot of them, especially when they're manufacturing. They haven't had a job. They don't see any way out. Okay. They listen to anybody that sells them anything. Hopefully they understand that what we're about is we're real. We want to help them. We want to give them hope. We recognize that problems are difficult and they don't get solved immediately. So I think we're going to have a very different kind of convention than the Republicans had.
Well, we wish you as much luck as we wish Cleveland. Marcel Groen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Marcel is the Pennsylvania Democratic Committee chair.